Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Today we're back with the property, but I got a few chores that I need to finish up here on the property. And today's activity is I'm going to be putting up a deer fence. So we have some apple trees that we put in last year, and I should have put the fence up then, but I didn't. And the deer have just been going to town on the trees. So we recently came across a really good deal on some more apple trees, and so I went ahead and I planted those. And before the deer come in and feast on these trees, I decided that I'd go ahead and put up a fence to protect these, as well as the ones I put in previously. So this is a real simple and easy method to keep deer away from trees and or gardens. I haven't used this method before, but from what I can tell doing my research, that this is a relatively cheap but effective way of keeping deer out of your garden and away from vegetation that you don't want them chewing up. So let me show you what the material is. So this is all you're going to need to put the fence up. Is I have some 6-foot T-post, I have a post driver, and some 50-pound Task fishing line, and that's it. And it's pretty simple, relatively cheap. Like again, you can buy these poles used between $2 and $4. I think the post driver was, I want to say 15 to 20, but you don't need that, but it'll make this go a lot quicker. And it's a tool you're going to use if you put up more fence posts later. So pretty simple as far as the materials that's needed. All right, let me put a few stakes in the ground and show you how that's done. When putting in the stakes, you don't want to put them too close to the tree because the deer's neck is pretty long and it can reach in there and nibble on those branches as it grows. So you want to be at least 3, maybe 4 feet from the edge of the tree when you put these in, so that as a tree grows, you're not going to be moving these fence posts out every year. So give yourself a little bit of growth room, I guess I'll call it, and then you should be good for quite a while, a long time. When I'm putting my string on from the previous pole, what I'd like to do is, it's called an obstructive clove hitch. And how that works is I take my line coming from the other pole and I make a loop. And then I go ahead and make another loop by taking the string that leads out and giving it a twist until it turns back on itself. And when it does, I take the 2 loops and I put them over top of each other. And so now when I pull on it, it's going to tie down, secure onto the post, but I can pull in the slack or take out the slack on the post to make my line taut. So I'll slide that over the top. This is my line coming in, my line going out. I pull on this and then I take up the slack on the other side. And when you do that, now this is going to stay in place, and now I can go down to the next line and do the same thing. All right, let's go down to the next pole. All right, so when you put the fishing line on, what I try and do is put it every 10 to 12 inches so that I get 4 to 5 rows out of this 6-foot post. And because I'm putting it into the ground, it's a little bit less than 6 feet. So every 10 to 12 inches is my spacing on the fishing line that I put up. All right, so I just got a couple more to do. Let me finish knocking those out. One of the key things you want to remember is you don't want to make this super tight. You want it so that it's taut, but there's some give in it. And what that's doing is it's allowing the deer to come in like they're moving in naturally, but then something is pressing against them and kind of freaking them out. Now, this did work with my dog. After I put this up, you know, he tried to come through these posts and it pressed up against him and it freaked him out for a second. And then he tried again. He couldn't get in, so he just kind of walked away. But that's the key thing, is just to keep it taut enough so that it puts pressure on the deer and they don't know what it is, and hopefully that'll stop them. So I did leave some openings between the poles so the deer can still gain access to the food plot. And they're coming out of this set of woods on here and down there. There's another trail, and based upon the trails that they're using coming through, this is their path. So I left this open. Hopefully they'll continue to come in and hit the food plot and not these trees. So this is it. I don't have any experience with this. Does it work? Doesn't it work? This is my first time using it. So stay tuned as I give an update in a few weeks to see if any of the fishing line is broken from the deer just pushing through and it not holding, or whether or not I catch something on my trail cams that actually is able to enter beyond the fishing lines and eat the trees. So I will put a camera on these and see if I can get some footage. But that's it. So as always, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something. So until the next video, take care and God bless.